Hey there, friends, and welcome to my channel. My name is Rebecca Austin, and on this channel, we talk about all things Kajabi, marketing, and growing your online business. Now, today I want to dive really deeply into the elements of an effective offer page, whether it's in Kajabi or otherwise, or if you're using another platform. Regardless, there's a few things that we need to talk about when you're crafting your offer page. So often when I'm talking to clients and we start talking about what is your offer, what is your lead magnet, what are you using to draw audience in and build your list and start converting that list, sometimes there's some confusion there because pretty much any system that you look at or any expert that you talk to, they're going to tell you that you need to have some type of offer to be able to draw in and grow your list. And that is definitely true. However, there's pieces to that puzzle that so often are missing when you're putting together the big picture of your specific site and your specific offer sequence. So I want to try and clear that up for you just a little bit today, help you put that together so you understand how all these things fit together. And then you can more deeply not only understand, but craft an offer that has a specific purpose, and that helps you with your goals and what it is that you're trying to accomplish. So that being said, that takes me to step number one, which is that we want to look at our offer. And this is whether or not it's a free offer or a low priced offer. This is essentially where it's your entry point when you're getting people to your site. So if you're doing a paid ad or social media marketing or any type of inbound marketing type strategies, we want to have a specific area that we can send people to that engages with them very specifically so that they can opt in and share their contact information if it's a free offer, or they can purchase if it's a low price entry point offer to get them into your organization, onto your list, onto that whole process to get you through developing a relationship and creating a fan and someone who is going to purchase from you, because essentially that's the main goal. It's not about growing a huge list. The tendency is to think, yes, I need to have all of these names, and there's a lot of statistics that the bigger the list, the better the opportunity you have to sell, which there's certain amount of truth to that, but at the same time we want a quality list of people who want to follow you, that like you, that look forward to anything that you send out to them. So in order to develop a quality list, we want to develop it with a little bit more strategy and a little bit more purpose, and to have a little bit more definition and planning that goes behind this whole process, rather than just think, okay, I need to have an offer, so I'm just going to put together something and then eventually I'm going to sell my product. The tendency when you're first getting started is to look at that product as the most important thing. And in order to get someone to purchase your main product, there needs to be a relationship building and a process. So the first thing that we need to do when we're building an effective offer strategy and building an offer page in Kajabi or whatever elements or platform that you're using is that first we want to go back to the planning stage and look at it from a strategic standpoint, and then break that down into steps. Because if you're coming at it strategically, you have so much better results and a better opportunity of getting what it is that you're hoping to get from building that list and putting that offer out there. I hope I'm making sense. Okay, so one of the things when we're putting together our strategy is we need to answer a few questions before we start building and before we even start putting together our free offer. Because if you have a product and then we say, okay, well then I just need to come up with something that I can give for free. Oh, well, I have this blog post that I wrote, or I have an article that I wrote, or I have an ebook that might work for that. A more effective option is if we look at it from what we call a product suite or an offer suite, that there's a natural flow in what it is that you can do for them that starts with an entry point naturally grows to maybe an upsell or the next level of engagement with you, and then naturally flows from there to the next level of engagement with you, where we're continually stair-stepping them on an entry level to a slightly higher priced item that gives them more value and dives deeper into their problem that you can help solve, and then naturally flows from there into the next step that they can go to that might be a little bit more price, that gets them deeper, that helps them with another level or another angle to the problem that you're helping them to solve. So that's one of the things that we can do strategically when we're looking at our entry point offer or our small lead magnet or whatever term, because there's a lot of terms that are floating out there that we use for this particular type of tool in our marketing funnel. Okay, so once we've identified what we want that offer to be, and we've thought about what that strategy is, and we've thought about what the progression might be for your entry level offer, then what we need to do is we need to really dive into the specifics of that offer. And when we craft our landing page or our offer page, we want to answer these questions. So the first one is, what is the offer? So hopefully at this point then you've worked through that and you've identified what is that offer and what is that product suite if you're going to go with a stair-step type of a scenario, which I highly recommend. The next thing we want to talk about then and answer is, what path, when they come to your site or your offer page, for example, what path or what actions should they do? And then make that super clear on that offer page, because so often I've just seen pages, and you've seen these pages too, where you've come to a page and then there's all of these different choices, and it's go to this and go to that and check this out. And the reality is that you want to make it very clear, what is your offer, what is your purpose, basically who you are, what you do, what is in it for them, how they can get a solution for a pain or problem, and then very quickly and easily click here to get your offer, or click here to opt in, or click here to register, or whatever it is that you're doing for your offer, whether it's a video series or an ebook or a report or a webinar or any of those wide range of different things that we can do that you can have as your lead magnet or have as your offer. Even if it's just an entry-level course or a product where it's a mini course or a mastermind or something like that. Okay, so once you've identified all of those things and have those clearly outlined on who you are, what you do, what's in it for them, what is the pain that you're solving, who is your target audience that you're talking to on this message, and then what are those next steps in their journey? So what are those next steps that you are wanting them to take? Have that already identified so that you have that path figured out ahead of time. So it's not like, okay, well, I'm going to do an ebook and I'm just going to put it up there and I'm going to collect their names, and then we'll have an email that says welcome and then here's your ebook. If you go deeper and you outline the strategy a little further, and we might say, if it's an ebook and use that example, then it's, they come to my page, there's a clear definition of what the ebook is, what it's about, what it's going to do for them, how it can help them, what they need to do to get access to this ebook. And then when they opt in, you already have defined what that delivery is going to be, what is the next phases, how are you going to engage with them and encourage them to continue to engage with you. So that might be things like email series, where it's not just one email, but a strategic and well-worded email series that encourages further engagement, gives them more value, gives them more information that helps them with their problem, gives them an invitation to your social media to follow you, things like that. Maybe to subscribe or to engage on a chat bot or a texting type of situation where you can engage with them there, where you're sending them out some valuable information and keep that engagements and invitations to other videos or your other social media or blog posts or other things that you have available. If it's an email series, you might set that up as an email sequence and then have a planned out email broadcast that go on a regular basis to give them more value, to build that relationship, give them those next steps in their journey with you so that it's a clear definition and a clear understanding so that they know what they need to do next. And it's not this constant sell, or this message of buy my product, buy my product, buy my product, buy my product. It's more about, hey, did you know that there's this, and this you can do for your XYZ problem? And check out my latest blog post or video, or here's another offer that I have available to really help you grow and help you do this. Now the balance is then, and the question we often hear on this is, at what point do we give away all of our best material, and what is it where we actually draw the line and we sell? And that is over deliver, but use it from a definition of kind of a guideline that typically what we like to say is your free offer or your low price offer gives them the clear over deliver of what they need to do to solve their problem. And then that creates more questions naturally, because you're telling them what the solution is for their problem, but then you sell them on the how. You sell them on the deeper dive. You sell them on the steps that it takes and the plans or the coaching or whatever it is that your product is that takes them on a much deeper level. But you have a better chance of getting them to purchase your product if your free offer is, first of all, related to your product, but also where it's strategically planned to where it has these elements that gives them the answers to their problem, but then leaves open lots of opportunity for them to dive deeper and then purchase the next steps and the next levels. So that is another factor to consider. Another question that you'll want to answer before you start crafting that offer page is, what is the experience that you want them to have when they opt in? This is a very important thing for you to consider when you are setting all this up in whatever software you're using. With Kajabi, it's super easy because they have it so straightforward that you have the opt-in page, and then we can have the opt-in form and the email sequence and everything integrated, and that can immediately go to a thank you page. Although I don't like to call it a thank you page, I like to call it a welcome page or a delivery page, because we're not thanking them for giving their email address. We're welcoming them to our tribe and offering them a solution where we are helping them. This is not a thank you for them doing something for us. So that's just a little side note for you on this. But regardless, in the system, you want to identify what the next steps are. So once they go to the opt-in page, what will be that experience that they have? What is it that your opt-in page gives them from an experiential standpoint? But then when they opt in, what is their experience? Is it clear? Is it good communication? Are you excited and welcoming and engaging and encouraging them to continue to engage with you? This is why I really love a welcome/delivery page rather than just check your email and then here's your download. How much better on their experience and their impression of you if they opt in, even if it's just a simple document or an ebook or something like that, if it takes them then to a welcome page where there's a video or some type of a message there that says, congratulations, so excited that you've taken this next step on your journey. Here is just click on the link below to download, or even better, you can have the link to download, but then have a flip book or some type of a imagery where then you have that experience where the book is right there instead of having to go to their email and download it. And then, how often do you think it is that, statistically speaking, it's unfortunately very high, they opt in, but if it just goes to an email, they may never even open that and get that offer. And it's about making a difference showing them that value, which then builds the trust, builds the relationship, and then encourages them to continue that relationship and move on to the next step, which obviously then is diving deeper, helping them, but also purchasing. So if you strategically plan out that experience as well, that takes them on to how it is that you are branding yourself, the message, the enthusiasm, the welcoming, the ease of being able to know what the next steps are. So on that delivery page then too, you can have your call to actions where you can add additional call to action. So on the delivery page, then it will also say, click here to follow me on Facebook, or click here for my Instagram, or click here for YouTube, or whatever social media you're doing that you want to invite them to engage with you further. Even better is if you have something like a chat bot where you have click here to take the 21-day challenge, or the 10-day, or the 5-day, or whatever it is, where that then they'll get messages every day on their Facebook or through text or whatever that is, so that you're getting their engagement from multiple avenues rather than just that email that may or may not get opened. Then once you have all of that strategized, planned out, you know what your offer is, you've figured out how you want that path to be, you've identified the specific messaging, you know what's in it for them, you know what plan that your problem that you're solving for them, you have all these things identified, you've thought about what is the engagement, how you want to interact with them, what is that follow-up sequence and that nurture sequence that's going to build that relationship with them. And then once we have all of that and we know what the experience is that we want them to have, then we can break it down into the planning of setting up those things in the platform. If it's in Kajabi, then we can start building those pages, setting up the checkout page or the opt-in form, setting up the email sequences, setting up the opt-in page and the delivery page, putting all those pieces together. And then we can identify what elements that need to be created to build that messaging and set up that experience and that strategy that we have then defined. So that would be setting up your graphics, recording video, writing your copy, setting up all of those elements. And that is what we're going to talk in part 2 of this video series, where I'm actually going to walk you through the specifics in Kajabi on how to set up an effective opt-in page and put all that together to be able to have really good engagement, have really good click-through rates, and then hopefully conversion rates, because ultimately that's our ultimate goal. So move on then. On the next video, we're going to talk about part 2, which is the actual building of the page and elements that we want to include on that page to encourage that engagement. But before I can go into teaching you the Kajabi side of things, we really needed to talk about the strategy side of it. This is the piece that so often is missing, is taking that time to plan it out, decide these elements, answer those questions, figure out what it is that is a good offer. Don't just come up with a lead magnet that is just something because it's something that you were told, well, you need to have a lead magnet, and then that sends them to the offer and gets their name on a list. It's deeper than that, and you need to have that strategy, that planning, that purpose. Answer those questions. Figure out what the journey is, get them on the bus, and then take them on a specific journey so that you can build that relationship and make a difference and help, and then also be able to make sales and build your business in the process. So I hope you enjoyed this video and found it beneficial. Be sure to check out part 2. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, I welcome you to subscribe so that when part 2 is released, you will know when we release that. You'll be notified, especially if you click that bell icon. That way then you can be notified when we release part 2 and get the full part 1 and part 2 of the series of building an effective opt-in page, because this is your entry point. This is the first impression so often of someone when they are finding you and coming to your site, especially through your paid advertising and the organic advertising that you're doing to send people to this page. So take the time before we can start building it, take the time to go through these strategic steps, plan it out, know what it is that you want, have those things in place, then we can start diving into Kajabi and start building it so that you can get the engagement that you're looking for. So thanks so much for watching. If you plan on doing these particular steps before part 2, give me a thumbs up. Feel free to leave a comment below if you have any questions. And for more information about Kajabi, about our done-for-you services, about anything that has to do with building an online business, feel free to check out my website at striveforsavvy.com. We'll see you there. Thanks for watching.